At this point, I'd like to shift to quotes. Quotes is a classic section of the Regular Folk Show.
All right.
I got 2 quotes selected for you. I selected each one for my guest. Custom quotes. And I'm going to read you the quote. Then you're going to guess who said the quote. And we're going to talk about the quote. And then we're going to do the next quote. And then that's kaput.
Alright.
Okay.
Let's give it the college push.
Quote number 1.
Oh, don't look at that.
No looking. We live together, we act on and react to one another, but always and in all circumstances, we are by ourselves.
Yeet. This could be any person in history.
There's very low likelihood you'll get it, but you never know. Don't worry yourself too much.
Should we unpack it a little first?
No, you guess and then we unpack.
Okay,
yeah.
Guessing. Okay. Can I get one more time?
Yeah, of course. I always do like a reread. Okay,
Yeah.
Here we go. Quote number 1, take 2. We live together, we act on and react to one another, but always and in all circumstances, we are by ourselves.
Okay. So whoever said this had pretty good self-awareness.
Yes.
Or
Self-awareness
deep understanding of humanity.
Yes.
Not a superficial
No.
person.
There's depth there.
Probably somebody who has come to terms with like being by themselves for the most part. And
Sure.
is comfortable by themselves. I'm thinking like somewhere in the realm of the Buddha. You know? Or
Is that
like
a yes?
Gandhi.
Going Gandhi. It's not a make or break. Don't worry.
Yeah, I
don't
know.
worry.
I'd like to give it a decent effort,
You
though.
did. Yeah, of course.
Somebody really could be Jesus. Could be one of those.
I'll tell you, not Jesus. I'll tell you that.
Could be.
Not Jesus good.
I could see. I like Buddha.
Okay, going with Buddha. It is Aldous Huxley, the writer, English philosopher, wrote Brave New World, also wrote The Doors of Perception. Very interesting.
Psychedelic guy.
The Doors of Perception, yes, was about psychedelics and mescaline. Brave New World was, dystopian novel. I think it's almost required reading in high school. But
I missed that one.
Oh, yeah. I guess you missed that one on the book list, yeah. But, I think that quote, I really do like this quote. I think it gives people a lot of pause. I think it's startlingly true. And I think it's a thing that a lot of people have trouble recognizing. We talked about that balance between leisure and work. We're all trying to find ways to not think about maybe the larger existential necessities.
Cluster.
All of this is just weighing on us. Like, I have to be here. Then I gotta reach this level. I can't be 30 years old still living at home. Yeah. But we interact with people. It is kind of a group effort to bring yourself up, but in a very real and somewhat scary sense, it's a solo effort. I mean, you are leading the charge here. You got friends, you got family, you got a support network, you got all this, but in every single moment of your life, it is just you. As much as it is you with other people. As much as it's us two on the couch right now, it's me on the couch and it's you on the couch.
Yeah.
Together we make something and we do create something, but it's short-lived. And even if it's a long-term friendship over many years, it's still, there's a thread tying two ends together.
Yeah, we're responsible for our own path and story.
100%.
We can't be relying on other people for our own meaning. Right?
Can't be outsourcing the brain.
But that's
soul.
like we're almost designed to maybe want it that way.
To want it which way? To want it solo? Or
Yeah,
to want
that solo part. Like,
I
people
think
are
so.
always there for our help.
Right.
Like, a million people I can ask for help.
Or detriment. Some people are out to get you.
Yeah. So, but then the part that's for me is like how I accept that or ask for that or weave that into my own story. And I think that's just good. I think that's like the exciting part.
It is.
You could be afraid of it.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, sheesh.
Yeah. It's all up to me.
Yeah, but then you can be like, all right,
Yeah.
let's do it.
Yeah, I think it also it works both ways. You know, it's all up to me, but then you recognize that everybody has that mentality. So if we're all working a little bit on it, you know, hopefully everything will
Trend in the right direction.
Yeah, everything will stay okay.
Yeah, it's a sobering thought, though.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what being an adult is, I guess. Like,
Yeah.
no one else to take responsibility.
Sure. Yeah, less so as a kid, but by ourselves is.
Yeah, when you're a kid, it's like
You
if
got
you really
school,
screw
and
up,
you
your
go
parents
home,
can
right,
step in.
right.
and-
There's always a community involved.
Yeah.
But there is a lot of. There are moments. I think there's a certain moment in childhood where you kind of recognize your own role and the things that you can do totally just you without other people knowing. And even with other people knowing, and it's completely your own doing. Like, I think for me, I feel like a switch was flipped around middle school. I kind of started realizing my own autonomy, decisions. I felt like I was actually playing a role in, you know, making things happen. You know, I just decided to start selling candy in middle school. Like, you know, that was a solo venture. You know,
Yeah.
that was not, you know.
You weren't part of some corporate effort.
I wasn't raising money for my basketball team on the subway. You know.
Sure.
You know.
Yeah. Do you feel like before that moment, you were
Kind of a robot.
just doing
Emotions,
what you were told?
Yeah.
This and that?
Yeah, I mean, I was still going to school in middle school, but it's just like, you know, at a certain point, I think I kind of started realizing, like, oh, like, I like this book. Like, maybe I had that thought and be like, okay, like, what does that actually mean? Like, recognizing that, like, me as a person enjoyed something. Like, this is totally unbeknownst to everybody else. Like,
Your unique.
this is me. This is,
experience.
right. My unique experience interacting with the world and interacting with myself. I think there is a certain point where that sort of gets switched on, and you know it works both ways. It is scary at times, and it's very comforting at times. You know, it's something people can fall back on when they're like, "There's too much noise out there. I don't need to hear about what Donald just did." You know, I just want to focus on this puzzling thought that I've been thinking about, or that interaction on the train, or this book, or you know, this great episode of Regular Folks Show. Or,
So apparently, or not apparently, but I believe there's like this phenomenon when like a kid hurts themselves.
Mm-hmm.
They look at you like, how should I be responding right now?
Yeah,
And if you're like, oh no, what happened?
Yeah.
You freak out, they're gonna start crying. It's
yeah.
like a disaster, the worst thing that ever happened.
Yeah.
If you're like, oh, that's okay, and you're very comforting about it.
Yeah.
They're like, it probably still hurts a little bit,
Right,
but
less though.
their response is very tied to their environment.
Absolutely.
What they're sort of being told to experience.
Right.
So it's interesting that you can like kind of remember that shift. I don't know if I really
remember the shift.
I do feel like somewhere in middle school.
Like 6th, 7th grade.
Yeah, I went from being like I'm Ira and my own person, but then there was sort of a shift like, oh,
Yeah.
I can determine what Ira will be, and
Right, and you started to have a little money. You're like, oh, I can buy a snack after school. Like that's something I can do. Like nobody else is controlling that.
sure. Yeah, that's a cool thought.
Yeah.